I think 2015 will be a fascinating year for anyone who is dealing with political issues and economic issues. For Asia, we will be looking at a number of key events. What will happen in trade relations after the elections in Taiwan. We have a snap election in Japan, which certainly will have an impact. People looking at negotiations on Iran. Will we be able to finalize our nuclear disarmament agreement with Tehran? And of course, closer to this region, there's the Asian Economic Community coming on stream. I would like to make 3 points as an opener for the discussion. The one is about EU and ASEAN. Then I'll look briefly at Singapore and perhaps a word about the EU going forward into 2015. Now, on EU-ASEAN, we have seen a good year this year. The EU has demonstrated that ASEAN continues to be a key area for us, and we want to upgrade that relationship in many ways. One of the decisions that we have made just recently is to have a dedicated EU ambassador to the ASEAN Secretariat in Jakarta. But more than that, we have increased our public diplomacy vis-à-vis ASEAN. Our leaders have been out in the region many times, and I think most interesting for economics, trade relations between the EU and ASEAN have grown over 90% over the last 10 years, and the prospects for that are very good. Now, the ASEAN Economic Community obviously will give another boost to that, and I will foresee that the EU and the European companies will continue to be important players in that regard. If you look at figures, they are quite compelling. The EU is basically in all ASEAN countries amongst the top 3 trading partners when it comes to trade in services, even the number 1. ASEAN already is our 5th largest trading partner overall, and we are the biggest investor in ASEAN and the biggest donor aid provider. So there's a good story going into 2015. The ASEAN Economic Community will give another boost to that, and I think when I talk to European companies here, there's a lot of growing interest in this region, and I'm sure we will discuss this in some more depth. Singapore, of course, has a big year coming up. 2015, with 50 years of anniversary of its independence, and I think it's also a good moment to look back at the relationship between Europe and Singapore during that period. What I would like to point out is that we've always been a key partner for Singapore in every respect, not only economically. Economically, for every euro we invest in ASEAN, 60 cents goes straight to Singapore. It's our biggest trade partner here in this region and will continue to be so. We have over 10,000 European companies registered here. And the ASEAN-EU Business Council, which was set up just in January this year, is also located here in Singapore. But also politically, we have engaged Singapore on a number of important topics for them. Maritime security, for instance. We just, on the European side, decided to continue Atalanta for another 2 years. We worked together on non-proliferation, on organized crime, anti-terrorism, lots of issues that are important for this country and for ASEAN and the EU at large. And that brings me to the last topic, perhaps, and that's the EU. Now, 2014 has been important for us. We have selected a new parliament. A lot of people had concern about what that meant with a number of EU critical parties winning seats. But they've started work now, and work in the parliament is continuing as it used to. But also we have a new college. We have a new president of the European Commission, the former Prime Minister of Luxembourg, Mr. Juncker, who knows Singapore and ASEAN quite well, and I would expect him to be here in this country at an early stage of his mandate. And from the 1st of December onward, there's a new president of the European Council, the former Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk. So there's a new team, there's a new dynamism, there's a new investment plan for Europe. 315 billion euros will be invested. The plan is out there. We discussed the details. We want to bring a new momentum into the European economy, and that is good for Europe, and that is good for ASEAN and for Singapore. Thank you.